everybody, it's Deb Luttrell with Stitchin Heaven, and as promised, I am going to be giving you a tour of my sewing cabin today. This is my So Special sewing space, and it is a cabin that I built back in 2015. It's a beautiful setting on my 6 acres here in Lindale, and I'm going to walk you through and show you some of the neat things I have in it. So come on, let's go. All right, so this is it, you guys. This is my cabin. I call it a cabin, I call it a barn. My grandkids call it Momo's Magic House. But whatever it is, this is where I sew and this is where I create. So come on in and let me show you around. Okay, so here we are inside. You guys, this cabin or barn or what we call it all kinds of different things. It's about 1,000 square feet. It's 20 feet wide by 50 feet deep. So it's plenty big. You know, I just kind of chose those measurements out of the blue when I decided, well, 20 by 50 sounds pretty good, so let's do 20 by 50. It's kind of how I came up with that measurement for the building. So it's very comfortable. It's large enough that if I want to have people over to sew with me, I can, but it's small enough that I feel real comfortable by myself out here, which I do spend a lot of time out here alone, just sewing and watching movies and listening to iPod and audio books and those types of things. So let me just kind of show you what I've got here. I'm just going to take you around the cabin. When you come in here, I've got a place that I just hang my bags. I don't know about y'all, but I get a lot of tote bags. I've actually kind of thinned those out recently, and you know, we got to have our bags. And then come around here. You know what, this is one of the best things I ever did. Before I got this, this is a ruler organizer rack, and before I got this, I had rulers everywhere. I had them in the drawers. And I don't know about you, but I would bring home more than one ruler. A ruler that I already had, I would end up with like 3 9.5-inch squares. I never could keep up with what I had. I came up with this idea. I probably saw it on Pinterest or something, and it really works. This is just a window curtain rod, and these are little like trade show hooks. They're not even shower curtain hooks. They're special kind of, I think you use these at trade shows. We had some of them from some trade shows that we had done, and so I used them. But this way I can organize and I just organize them by size pretty much. And I can quickly look here and tell if I have what I need. Then, you know, I am a ruler fanatic, so I've got my overflow here. These things don't have holes in them, so I just put them in a little ruler rack right there beside. That's handy. Then I also have rulers in this drawer. These rulers don't have holes in them, most of them. Actually, that one does. But most of these don't have holes in them, and they end up in this drawer. So I know if I have a template that doesn't have a hole in it, I can check in this drawer. All right, so that started bowing. See how that was bowing over there? So I put in a second rack, and this rack is for my specialty shapes. The triangles, the oblongs, you know, all of those that really don't fit really nice on that original rack over there. But before I got this one, I had all these thrown in this drawer, and that just doesn't work. So I like to have a visual of what I'm doing. A couple of years ago, probably 2019, which was after the last tour of the cabin that I gave you guys. This is my 3rd tour of the cabin for you. So if you want to see what it was like back in the day, you can go back and check our YouTube file, and you can find the other 2 videos. But I replaced my cutting table with this table, and I have been so happy with this. This is an IKEA table. I will warn you, when you go to IKEA to get one of these, this one has to be mounted to the wall. You can buy them where they're freestanding. if you have that situation. If you have a place where you can mount it to the wall though, it's very neat to do it because it's very, very sturdy and it's not nearly as expensive. I mean, let's face it, when we sew, we use one side of it, right? So, but this is a very nice, high quality cabinet. It has a place here for trash, which I'm using for scraps. It has a place behind these buckets for bags. And I love the way the drawers open. They're on those smooth openers. So this drawer is a drawer for my lace and my elastic, and this drawer is a little drawer I've got for my kids for their papers and all of that. And of course this drawer is the drawer for my rotary cutters. Why a person needs so many rotary cutters, I don't know, but I love to have a bunch of different ones. This is just a part of what I have. Some of the rest of them are actually out on the tables over here. I love to have a lot of rotary cutters, so I do. I've got pens and markers and those types of things in this drawer. So this is just very, very versatile and something that everyone should have if you have space, which of course space is the key thing here. Then we come on around. I use this little Dyson. This is actually a pet vac. I use this all the time here. It not only will vacuum my little rug, which I need to show you my rug. We missed that part. This is a little rug. I also got this at IKEA. It's been fun to have in here. Really, the funnest thing to do in this, with this rug is to play Twister with my grandkids. They love to play that. We get in here and we stand on the pink button and then we stand on the yellow button and, you know, all of that. So, now, I have a TV set up. It is, I have a hotspot, so I can stream movies if I want to. I can listen to audiobooks, just, you know, whatever I need to keep me busy while I'm sewing and I'm not just by myself. Coming on over, while I was at IKEA, I also purchased this. This is a bar. Again, this bar, it comes with the top and the bottom, and it also attaches to the wall. So while you're at IKEA, if you've got space for something like this, you might want to look at it. This could serve as a cutting table as well, if you don't have the space for the big one. A 24-inch cutting mat would fit nicely on this. I have just discovered this iron. I love this iron. It is by Reliable, and it is called the Velocity 110. And what I love about this is it heats up to one temperature and then you can go. Really generates a lot of steam. So if you're one that likes steam, this baby will knock your socks off. I really, really love this. Then beside my ironing station, which I have I have 3 ironing stations in here. Beside this ironing station, I just put all of my spray bottles, my starch, my filler for my vapor generator, and my regular heavy starch. I use this. This is an idea that I found here a while back, which is very cool. Let's see if I can do this. Nope, that one doesn't work. Maybe that's empty. This one does, yeah. This is, you get this in the paint section, like at a department store, you know, Walmart or wherever. Sherwin-Williams has got them. But it's for a can of spray paint. But it works really good on your spray cans. So I put those on most all of my spray cans. So we move right along. My favorite man here is Mr. Gear. Me and Mr. Gear, we're friends. I have a Reliable ironing board. I love this ironing board. And of course another Reliable iron. Y'all can guess I love Reliable. This, I used to use Rowenta, I believe. And I love the Rowento irons, but they always leaked after about a couple of years. And, you know, of course it was always after the warranty is up, always, and you can't get them fixed. Now, one thing I do use a lot is this, this contraption here. Usually I have a Larstar ironing system set up on that side of this contraption. This contraption is called, I think it's called a fabric corral. And what this does is if you're pressing a quilt, let me show you. So you've got a big quilt here, and we're going to press it, right? And let's pretend that we're to the point of, you know, just pressing the top. This one's quilted, so this is not a really great example, but you'll get the idea here in a minute what I'm talking about. So I've got this big top here. If you're like me, when you go to press these things, this is all going to end up on the floor, and it's going to be dirty. With this fabric corral, it catches your excess fabric, is the whole point. And so you don't get this masterpiece that you've worked on dirty while you're pressing it to get ready to go to the quilter, or when you press it, when it comes back and you want to just, you know, press out the wrinkles. I'm quite a presser. So there's that. I love that. I love this. This is a woolly bar, and you use this to press your seams open. I am a big fan of pressing seams open. So you lay your block over this, and you take your iron. This works especially good when you're doing like jelly roll strips or something like that. You can start it on this, and this just flattens them out. Maybe we need a tutorial on that, so we'll think on doing that. That I can show you on this. These are wonderful, but this is called a woolly pressing bar. Okay, moving right along. These are also from IKEA, and I bought these when I bought my cutting table and my ironing station, and I had them forever, and I didn't have them labeled. And oh my gosh, y'all can't, I can't tell you how many times I would go like this and like this and like this, looking for something. So finally one day I was like, this is crazy. I am going to label these drawers. And so I did. I went through, and now I know that my books are in here. Now I know that my stabilizer is in here. I know that my stabilizer is in these drawers. I know my stabilizer is right here because I can see it. IKEA also has these little inserts that you can get, and they make your shelves more versatile because you can put stuff like this in there, and it doesn't take up, you know, it doesn't go to the very back of the shelf. I've got projects down here that someday I'll work on or not. Things that I want to do. Sometimes I know that I have collections down here that I can pull from. Like I have a little granddaughter that is pink crazy. So I have a bucket full of pink fabrics. You'll notice in this sewing room, and you may be disappointed. Here goes a big old, that's a dirt dauber. He's not going to hurt me. You may be disappointed that you don't see a lot of fabric in this room. I have this fabric. This is my kind of Civil War reproduction fabrics. I have some light Civil War stuff, mainly because I was working through a Civil War reproduction type project. I'm very project oriented. I don't just collect fabric for the sake of collecting fabric. I know that you're probably surprised to hear me say that, but there was a time that I did that. And then one day I realized, why are you doing this? You have 10,000 bolts of fabric at your store, so you really have a very, very large collection of fabric. So whenever I want something, I just kind of go get it. So that's why you don't see a lot of fabric here, because I have fabric at a little place down the street called Stitchin Heaven. That's my fabric stash. So anyway, yeah, we go over here now. Over here I have racks set up where I have projects that I want to keep that I have finished with. And there are all kinds of things. There are things that I have collected. There's patchwork, old Patchwork Party. I don't know if y'all remember the Patchwork Party program that we did a few years back. We have old Patchwork Party. This is Patchwork Party. This is Patchwork Party. Just a very small number of the quilts that I have made or we've made at the store that I want to keep. This right here, this is a quilt called Planet Maze. This is probably the most fun quilt that I ever made. And you know what, guys? I can't even remember the name of the pattern designer. No, we don't have a kit for this, but I do want to show it to you. Jack, move. There you go. Isn't that gorgeous? It was a lot of fun. You had to really think about it while you were making it. It uses 1-inch logs. I think they were cut 1 inch actually, so they're finished to 3/4 of an inch. Or no, they were cut. I think they were cut 1 1/4 inches. Anyway, they're small. I really enjoyed making this. You might be able to Google, we don't even have this pattern. You might be able to Google it and find a pattern from this lady. It was a long, long time ago. Jack loves this quilt. Okay, I'm just going to leave it there for you. Anyway, I have all of these. I have a refrigerator here. You'll notice that this cabin does not have a restroom or a sink. I built it without one because it was going to cost like $25,000 on my septic system out here, and it was going to cost a lot of money to put in a bathroom. My house is right there, and so far it's been fine. You know, we haven't had any problems with being able to use the facilities. I do have, I hope I can show you this. I have my Elna press here. I love this Elna press, but since I got my Larstar, I don't use this as much. The Larstar really is fabulous. The Larstar normally is set up over there by the fabric corral, but it's traveling to Land Ahoy right now. So they borrowed my Larstar to take on Land Ahoy so people could experiment with it on Land Ahoy. I do want to show you this. This is kind of cool. This is right here is a design wall that I really wish I could get rid of because it's so heavy. But this is what I want to show you. I don't have water out here. So what I fill my water bottles with is this. This is very cool. Let me get a water bottle. Something here. I can use this. All right. You can, this is a pump. Isn't that cool? And so I fill my water bottles with this. It just push on and push off. So, since I don't have water out here, that's one of the creative ways I came up with having water out here. I've got my piano out here. Do I play piano? No. This was I used to play piano when I was a child, and this was my pandemic project. I was going to reteach myself how to play the piano. And that is still a goal of mine. Let's just put it that way. But in the meantime, I have a piano. My grandkids love it. So they get out here and play on it. So hey, that makes it all worthwhile anyway. So, all right, so we're going to walk back up here. I have space for quite a few people to sew with me. My station is here. I have a station there, a station here, a station here. So that's 3 people. I can set up a person or 2 here. I mean, we've got lots of space just to have a little weekend retreat if I want to do that. And I do that periodically. I love this table for, you know, for an extra cutting table. Like that's not enough over there. You have to have more than one place to cut, right? This was just a table, I don't know, I ended up with somewhere. I love this because I can put it here to cut, and this is my design wall. This quilt on the design wall is called Scrap Crazy. We do sell the templates, and this particular fabric collection is no longer available, but I know that you'll recognize it as being from French General. And most any French General fabrics will work with this Scrap Crazy. We have a tutorial on Scrap Crazy. You can go look at that. It's probably my all-time favorite quilt design just because it's easy, it's quick, there's a lot you can do with it, and it's just beautiful. It's made from layer cakes, so you could get the most current French General layer cake, and I bet you would come out with a quilt that looks a whole lot like this. So, let's see. This is Stevie Nicks. Fleetwood Mac is one of my favorite all-time bands. I went to their concert last year before the pandemic, and it was fabulous. And I got to hear Stevie Nicks sing Landslide. It was wonderful. Okay, I want to show you this. This is a sewing caddy, and I really absolutely totally love this. We will have this on our website soon, that you can order one from us. But this, I love having this because the things that I always would search for and I could never find, I put here, and this sits right by my sewing space. So I have my scissors, I have my glasses, I have my threads, I have my pins right at my fingertips. This is wonderful. And a rotary cutter or 2, and there's 2 more. See, I have lots of rotary cutters. So I love this. This is a great idea. I have a Bluetooth speaker here. This is where, when I listen to books, I use that. I have an external CD. So many of our embroidery designs now are on CD, and a lot of our computers don't have the CD equipment in it anymore. And so I bought an external CD so I could download these designs onto my computer. And when I am in the mode of embroidery, which that brings me over to my sewing area. Okay, so this is my sewing area, and I have a Bernina 770 and I have a Bernina 880. My setup, and this is different for everyone, is set up so that I can embroidery, and when I have a design that's taken 20 minutes to stitch out, I can also be piecing something. And so I have the best of both worlds here. You can embroidery on a, you can embroidery on a 770, and you can sew on a 770, but you have to be doing one or the other. With this setup, I have it set up in an L shape like this, so I can very easily just roll right over here, change to the next design, and come right back to my piecing. I have my Stitchin Heaven wool mat here, and a very, very old Rowenta travel iron, which I just absolutely love it. I don't put water in it, but this gets very hot. Gosh, I probably bought this thing 30 years ago, and I love it. This is my preference. It's heavy, you know, it's not like those new ones that are so lightweight. I do have a little sewing box. This is something that someone made for me, just so that you need to be able to have your tools here out in front of you, the ones that you use most often, and this is what I put mine in. And then I have some little projects here. If I need to find something else to work on, I easily can. And Jack has a bed down here. Usually this bed ends up on my sewing table. Oh, the other thing I have that you guys all need, of course I have this 8-foot table, which is really, really nice. I realize everybody doesn't have this, and I'm blessed to have it. So I get to put a cutting mat right here, but I also have my Martelli rotary mat. Oh my gosh, you guys, I could not live without this. This thing is wonderful. So fabulous. So, in the Scrap Crazy demo, in the Scrap Crazy tutorial, we use this, and I show you how to use it. So you might want to check that out. And then, of course, this. This is my thread collection. And yes, I have labeled all the numbers. I use a Brother label maker to do this with. It's very easy. It's got a little keyboard on it. And this was, my mother was in the hospital having her hip replaced, and I sat and did this while she was having her hip replaced. And it turned out really, really neat. And it's very, very functional, very easy to use. I really, really love it. It's right here by my embroidery machine. So it's very, very nice. Let's see here. Is there anything else? Oh yeah. Also beside my embroidery machine is my system, my archaic system for storing my hoops. You know, guys, I just put these command strip hooks up, except for this one. I couldn't get the command strip to work. And I just hang them. I just hang them close to my embroidery machine, and they're there. Before I did this, they were in a drawer, and I never could find what I wanted. So what I've learned through the years is to get this stuff out where you can see it, and then you're happier with it, and it's much more functional. So this is where we do all of a lot of our Zoom classes. We do our New Year's Day Zoom event. We have my birthday bash coming up, September the 6th. You can sign up for that. It'll be on the website within the next couple of weeks. And you can join in with us. We love having broadcasts from out here because we feel like you become a part of us. We put Zoom up on the television so I can talk to you, and we can visit, and we can figure out what's going on in your world. If you like this tutorial, we have a lot of So Special Sewing Space videos now on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our channel. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to get notified of our YouTube videos as they come out, just click that little bell, and you will be able to stay in touch with us. So for now, this is Deb Luttrell with Stitchin Heaven. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.